All right, what is up, YouTube? We got Miss Jayra here.
Hello, everyone.
She just closed her third wholesale deal, which is awesome. If you guys don't know Jayra, you could well, she first started off as a student with me, found out about wholesaling, and then she just stuck to it ever since. And now she's just been in her real estate journey. Yeah. So I think when was the last time you closed the deal, but the last deal before this one?
December.
Okay, so it's been how long?
Like 6, 7 months.
6, 7 months.
Yeah.
So what's happened since you closed your last deal to now? Like
Um,
journey.
yeah. So since I closed, are you talking about like the one from December?
Yeah, that was when you closed the second one, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So the second one, ever since, I kind of started going through like shiny object syndrome, which I feel like that's why it took me so long to close my third deal. I kind of was like, oh, I want to try other things. Let me pull lists. And I was actually using someone's dialer. This guy let me use his dialer. I was using his dialer, just asking people, "Do you want to sell your home?" And it was like this annoying, lengthy process. Then I had stopped doing Zillow for a while, and I was just doing that, but I didn't like nothing stuck with just the dialer and pulling lists. I don't know. Maybe I was just pulling the wrong list. I don't know, but I had stopped doing Zillow, and that's why it took me this long to close my third one.
I think that's very common. I think everybody does that, and that's kind of why I wanted to have this interview because I think your story kind of reminds me of my own, and I think it'll resonate with a lot of other people. After you close your first deal or after you get a little bit of money, and even before your first deal, you do get shiny object syndrome, or you feel like you got to figure something out.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like other people are doing something that you're not, when really it's just consistency. It's just hitting a certain amount of numbers consistently over a long enough period of time. So, so your first two deals were from Zillow, right?
Yep. And so was this one. This was also a Zillow.
Zillow?
Yeah. Yeah.
Zillow is where it's at, 100%. If anybody's like second guessing Zillow, I mean, I have contracts. I have 15 contracts right now, and I think eight of them are from Zillow.
Oh wow.
So Zillow is where it's at, whether it's follow up from Zillow, because they eventually take it off if they don't
Mm-hmm.
sell it. So now it's an off market lead or a referral. One of them is really good, and it's a referral right now.
Mm.
So talk about this deal. You found it on Zillow. How long did it take you, like, from finding the deal to closing it?
Yeah, so I had made the offer in March. So I called them in March. I saw them. I saw the listing. And it was in Ohio. I saw it back in March. I dialed it. I offered them cash, and I also offered them an ovation too because um their house, it looked good. Like there was just no repairs. It's more for like a landlord. So I thought maybe an ovation. So I pitched that at first plus cash. They had it way overpriced, but we had such a good conversation that I left an impact on them. And then uh last month, June, or actually no, not last month, May, he ended up reaching back out like, "Hey Jayra, I think I want to go with you. Yeah, you were the lowest offer, but you were so nice, you were so sweet. We have had higher offers, but it's everybody just seems so like flaky, so we're gonna go with you." So that same day that he said that, I came home and read up the contract, and I went over it with him and his wife. It took about like 30 minutes. They had a bunch of questions, and I kept them updated through the whole process, and it closed like 2 or 3 days ago.
That's amazing. And how much was it for?
Like the whole, like how much did the buyer buy it for? Like my assignment fee.
The assignment fee.
Oh, mine's $6,000.
$6,000. So is that the highest?
Yeah, highest so far.
How much were the first two deals for?
The first one 3,200. Second one was 1,000. This one 6,000.
That is what's up. Holy
Mm-hmm.
crap. And so it was overpriced.
very overpriced. Like they had it listed for 97K when like it's not worth that in the area. I locked it up for $47,000. Um, yeah, that's a big price cut. Then the buyer had bought it for, was it 62? I think he bought it for $62,000, and the whole spread, if I'm doing the math right, it was 15K, so it was a JV. Q ended up getting $9,000. He was the one that brought me the buyer. It is
So
60/40.
who's Q?
So Q is a wholesaler out here in Orlando that I work for. So I now work for a wholesale real estate company. He's been wholesaling for 15 years, and I'm super blessed to be working for him. And he's honestly taught me a lot. So he was the one that told me to offer, 45. I originally offered 45 before I was even working for him. I was like, hey, I offered 45. Is this right? He was like, you can even go up to 47. I was like, cool. So then I locked it up then, sent him the deal, and I think like a week later he was like, "Oh, I think I have a buyer." And the buyer went and saw it, liked it, put in EMD like that same week, and it was off from there because he has investor lift. Like he used all of his resources. He put that deal on. I think he put the deal on investor lift. I just know his dispo agent was working on it for sure. Um, so yeah, he got his cut. He got 9 grand, and I got six.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, before I ask more about Q, where was this deal located? Like what state and city?
Toledo, Ohio.
Toledo, Ohio. Where were the other deals at?
The first one was in Warren, Ohio, and the second one was in Daytona Beach, Florida.
Okay. And you are based out of,
Orlando, Florida.
so these are all virtual. You never saw any of these deals in person.
No.
That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you closed your first two deals, then you said you got shiny object syndrome, or you just yeah, it is called shiny object syndrome, but you really just want to figure you I know the feeling of like you feel like how can I make more? How can I get more?
Yeah.
I'm missing, how can I get bigger fees? What kind of led you to pulling lists and what else did you do?
Cause I was seeing other people like, oh my gosh, this person just made 30K off of this random pre-foreclosure. Then I started targeting pre-foreclosures. I kind of went through their phase beginning of this year where I was like door knocking and leaving sticky notes and stuff like that. Yeah. So sometimes I would go by myself, and then other times I would have people come with me because I'm like, sometimes people are crazy. You don't know what's on the other side of the door. So I would always have somebody come with me. Um, I wouldn't always door knock. So a lot of the times I would leave sticky notes, but if I felt really bold that day, I would just knock on the door like, "Hey, you want to sell your house? So I saw your house is going on to pre foreclosure." Um, I got one contract out of doing that, but the guy just wanted way too much, and his auction date was like days away.
So what kind of made you go back to Zillow? Like, so you were pulling lists, door knocking, leaving sticky notes. Did you do
Mm-hmm.
anything else?
Um, I wanted to get into text blasting, but then I saw like how much capital is required for that, and I'm like, I'm not there yet. So then I was like, you know what? Let's just go back to Zillow. Let's just start where I started. Like all this jumping around isn't really getting me anywhere. Like this may work for other people, but I just need to stick to what works. And if it worked this entire time, you don't fix what's not broken.
Right. I did that exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Exact same thing. And I was pulling lists and I had a dialer too. This is when I was in Houston. And then I was dialing for like 5 hours a day. Well, with a dialer, it was a triple line dialer, and like the contracts I was getting just wasn't sticking, and it wasn't a lot. And I was like, and so I was like, well, let me go back to what worked.
Yeah.
Zillow did. It is how I got my first couple deals. Let me do it again. And so once I just implemented Zillow again, I saw the results, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go all in on Zillow, and that's just what led to my success really sticking to Zillow. Um, so Q the closer for you, those of you who don't know, I think that's his Instagram name, right? Q
Yeah, cue the closer, but his name's Anthony Casada. Like that's his name.
that's what's up. What is it like living? I mean, what is it like working at his office and like, what are the KPIs you have to hit? What's the environment like there?
Yeah, so it's a very team-oriented environment. It's a very small team, but very like everybody's just willing to help one another out. Since I am like the newest one there, there are people that have been working there for, way longer. Like there's two people there that have been there for 6 years. One guy's been there for about a year. So whenever I need help with something, like they're just open to helping me out, which I'm super grateful for the other team members that I work with. Anthony, very, very um he's very good at coaching people. Like, every morning he has like morning meetings and he's like, okay, you guys need to hit these certain numbers, you guys need to have this certain talk time. And I really like the culture in his office. Like, it just keeps you motivated.
What things have you learned working at his office, that have like you've implemented into your own journey?
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that I've learned, but one of the things that I started implementing was to go over the contract over the phone. I know this was something that you would talk about too a lot, but I wouldn't really like execute it. But I really, really understood the importance of that once I started working for him. And I got a lot more results when I was working for him, which is why I think that's part of the reason why I was able to get 8 contracts my first month working there,
Mm,
which most of them fell through anyway. But just going over the contracts and everything like that. And what makes it easier also is that there's different departments for everything. So once the seller sells the contract, you don't got to talk to them ever again. That's transaction to handle. So it just helps me be a lot focused on sales, and it helps me be a lot more focused on the seller instead of being like, oh, I need to find a buyer and I need to do this and do that. It just helps me become a lot more focused.
right. So has working at a wholesaler's office, has that improved your work ethic working with yourself and has it like changed your perspective on like how hard you should work for yourself or what's
Yeah,
that like?
yeah, absolutely. Like, it definitely has changed my perspective on like how hard I should be working. Like, I do work pretty hard in that office. I mean, I'm there Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, but I'm in there dialing. I'm in there. But yeah, it's definitely motivated me a lot. And then, on weekends when I'm not in the office, I just call Zillow or follow up on my leads.
So out of the three wholesale deals that you closed, which was the hardest?
Ooh, the hardest. God, I want to say my first one, honestly. I
Yeah.
want to say the first one.
The first one is usually always the hardest. Why do you think
Yeah.
it's the hardest?
Because you don't know what you're doing before you get your first deal. Like you're kind of like, oh my God, what am I doing? Am I even doing this right? Is my offer even correct? You're like overthinking. You're kind of taking the messiest action that you can just to get the first deal. Then once you get the first deal, you're like, we made it. Which is, I think that's also why like complacency kind of settles in after the first deal, because since it was so hard and you feel like you've made it, that's why you kind of like stop, or not stop, but you slow down after the first deal.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's awesome. $6,000. This is in Ohio, all virtual.
Mm-hmm.
You say this was the easiest deal?
Super easy, literally the easiest deal. The sellers were so nice. They were the sweetest people. I kept updating them on everything, and then the transaction coordinators at Q's office, they were updating the sellers too. Any documents, they would help out as well. So I had a whole team behind me. So I think that's what made it like 10 times easier. Because if I was on my own, I honestly don't think this would have been possible without like Anthony's help. Because if I was like by myself, I probably would have gotten stressed out. Who knows? The deal probably would have fell through.
Mm-hmm. Were you keeping this inside your own CRM or how did you know to follow up with them?
Yeah, it was in my own CRM, and then once it was under contract, I also put it in their CRM as well, because since it was a JV deal, like he has like a separate section for like JV deals, so it was in there. It was in mine and his.
What CRM are you using?
I personally use Podio, but at the office they use Lamasu.
So Podio, yeah, I know I set every student up with that first. That's the beginner's Podio. I mean the beginner CRM. It's not really beginner. A lot of high level people use it, but it's free to use at first and it's super
Yeah.
cheap.
Hmm.
So still using Podio. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
What do you think the biggest challenge has been in your entire wholesale journey?
Ooh. Mm. I want to say just keeping that same consistency this entire time. Because I would have like my ups and my downs and my ups and my downs. I just want to be up and like just stay there and then go up and then just like stay there. I don't want to just, like this, like I've always been. I just want to just stay up and just stay and then just keep going up from there.
But what's the reality though? Like,
The reality is, as long as I keep doing the work that I'm already doing and more, I'll get to where I want to be. I'll get to where I want to go, and I'll have them highs and keep going higher and higher like I want to. That's up to me. Like no one else is stopping me but myself.
right? Entrepreneurship is definitely a journey of self-improvement and it tests your limits because, I think I said this, like there's nobody watching over you like you would at a job. Like I'm sure like when you went to Q's office, they had an environment there, you had employees around you, and you had Q maybe looking over your shoulder every now and then. So the pressure is there to do the work. But when
Mm-hmm.
you're doing this by yourself at home, especially if you don't have a coach or a mentor, you are the only person that's going to be there to keep you accountable, to keep you in check. So I think a lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah.
Um, what would you say is one thing about wholesaling real estate that you think most people get wrong? Like what's
Um, I think people overthink it. That's the thing. I think some people overthink it and people kind of stay in this like analysis paralysis. Because I've talked to wholesalers that haven't closed a deal yet, and a lot of them are like, oh, like, but I have to run comps and I have to, where should I start? What do I do? It's stick to one thing, do one thing. Like, it's like, if you're gonna do Zillow, stick to Zillow. If you're gonna do pre-foreclosure, stick to that. If you're gonna go driving for dollars, stick to that. Just stick to one thing till you're making enough money to venture off to something else. So that's what I've learned. So I would say just don't overthink it and do one thing.
what part of it do you think people overthink the most?
Some people just don't know where to start. That's the thing, because they think that you need a lot of capital to start, which you don't. Like, you can literally get started on Zillow, or let's say if you prefer to be local, you can just drive for dollars, door knock. I mean, it takes longer to do that. Like, all of these strategies work, but they all have different KPIs. So um, people just don't know where to start or how to even start. People don't know where to get help or mentoring from.
Yeah, I think a big thing is like people, yeah, they don't know where to start. There's like, should I do cold calling? Should I do text blasting? Should I do pre-foreclosure? Should I do vacant? Should I do Zillow? Should I do on-market MLS? I think they all work. You just got to pick one. And I think another part that people overcomplicate a lot is the comping. Like it's super important to run comps, but I mean, like 9 times out of 10, you'll always be offering the right thing if you just offer half of what this estimate is.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how to comp. Like, my comping is ass. And like at Q's office, I mean, he usually comps for us, but he does harp on like us learning how to comp ourselves. So a lot of the times I'll catch myself comping and I'm like, I don't even know what ARV is. Can you help me? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't know how to comp. Like, I was never taught that. Like, I'm learning, but it's very hard for me to do right now. But I'm learning.
Right. I think the most important thing like is just take that raw action. Take the action, just call the people, have the conversation, and then offer half, right? You said
Yeah.
you listed it for 90 something, you offered 40 something.
Mm-hmm.
Offer half, like 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Oh, look, somebody's calling me on my CRM. But yeah, that's the biggest thing is like just don't overcomplicate it. Call them up, offer half. Sometimes comps are important, but don't let finding comps be the reason that you don't take action.
Right.
So I know that when you first joined my mentorship, I had KPIs for Zillow. It was 20 conversations, three 30-minute script offers. What are the KPIs in Q's office?
His are at least 5 offers a day, um, at least 2 contracts a week, 1 to 2 contracts a week. Um, Conversations, we don't really track conversations. I know he tracks talk time. But he like, there's sometimes where he'll put like in Slack like how much everybody's talk time was. I think mine was the highest at one point, like 1 or 2 weeks ago. Mine was like the highest talk time, like 14, 15 hours, I think. Um,
And how much in a week?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think
that's
so.
what ours is. It's like 15 to like 20 hours a week of talk time we have here,
Yeah.
somewhere in between there.
Hmm.
Um, so when we first met, right,
Hmm.
you had hit me up, you found me on Instagram. I mean, where were you at in your real estate journey when we first met?
When we first met, I wanted to become a realtor. Like I was in the process of getting my license. Like I had taken like the courses, I'd done the fingerprinting and all that stuff, and I'd taken the test like twice. My original plan, like I was just gonna keep going till I passed it and become an agent for like Keller Williams or something like that. And I was like, I'm gonna join Keller Williams. Like that was my thing. And then I came across your YouTube channel all of a sudden. And then I was like, wholesaling, what's this? Never heard of that. And then I was very like, oh, but like, don't I need my license? And then you were like, no, you don't need your license. And I'm like, well, fuck being a realtor. I'm just gonna do wholesaling, and it's been working out great. And I don't ever see myself having a real estate license because now that I've been wholesaling real estate for almost a year now, it's kind of like for most things in real estate, you really don't need a license. Like it's crazy. You really don't need it.
Yeah, I don't know what you really need it for other than listing on the MLS.
Yeah, yeah. Like it's pointless. Like you don't need it other than that.
Yeah. So where do you see yourself like within the next year in your real estate journey?
Within the next year, I definitely see myself closing multiple deals, like 3 to 4 deals a month for sure, and then um living in my own place, possibly a skyrise. It's always been my dream to live in a skyrise apartment. Um, and yeah, and I want to by that time probably have like an acquisition person or like a VA or something like that by that time.
You could definitely do that. That's totally doable.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I remember when that was my goal. That's what I wanted. High rise, balcony, looking over the city. And yeah, I got that. So
Yeah.
you just focus really hard. And Alex Ramosi defines focus as, not just like concentrating on one thing like really hard, but being able to say no to every other thing other than that one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Either saying yes to only one thing or inverse, saying no to every other thing except for that one thing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you focus on it, I used to have pictures of sky rises, high rises, and pictures of cash. I remember I always had a picture of $100,000 cash. I'm like, I'm getting that. That's mine. And yeah, I did that. I had 100 bands cash.
Yeah, like I know you harped on a lot on having vision boards. I have like 4 in my room, and all of them are like stacks of cash, my dream car, like my dream everything, like on those vision boards. Like this one right here. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's one of them. That's one of them. Corvette, the skyrise, the money, dream body. Like all of it.
yeah, that's right. I still probably got like 3 vision boards, and then I have like pictures under my whiteboard. So having a clear vision is very, very important. Hella important.
Hmm.
What would you tell your younger self that hasn't closed a deal yet, who just started, or maybe is 2 weeks in? What would you tell your younger self?
I would say to keep going. I know it's very frustrating. It's very hard. Sometimes the calls may not go as great and you might get down on yourself because you could have done better on the call. But you know what? You call the lead, you talk to them, that's still a win.
That's right.
Every time you fail, you're actually going forward because every lesson that you learn, you'll end up implementing it on the next one.
Right. Alex Hermosi says that same thing. As long as you try and take action, you're going to be learning. Either you're going to learn what to do or you're going to learn what not to do. But either way, you're going to be learning.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think? What kind of, I guess, how do you maintain a level head? Because this is not easy. Dealing with people every single day, calling random people every day, being cursed out every day is not easy. What do you do, or do you do anything in your daily life or in your routine to like keep a level head, to stay motivated? Do you do anything or do you just say fuck my feelings, I'm gonna just do it?
I go to the gym. I work out very consistently, so that that just alleviates the fact that like sometimes people are gonna get mad. Like especially if I have like a tough day or a tough week where I feel like every seller was just angry at my offer and they were just like, "Oh my God, like why would you even offer that? That's offensive." Like I had a day like that, a nice workout definitely hits the spot and coming back home and reading a nice book and going to bed. I'm in bed like by 9:30, 10. That I don't do anything special. Just work out, read, takes my mind off things, and I'm straight.
That's right. So, what would you say to I guess other people who haven't closed it? They say they've been wholesaling for 6, 8 months, 12 months. What would you tell those people who haven't closed a deal yet?
I would say if you have not closed a deal yet and you've been doing it for like 6 months to a year, it's probably because your attention is probably scattered everywhere. Like you probably like, they probably have too many things going on and they struggle on focusing on the one thing. So I'd say focus on the one thing, hit those numbers every single day, and you'll get the results that you want. Like it's simple, but it's not easy.
It's very, very simple. That's right. I've been saying that since the beginning. It's simple, not
Mm-hmm.
super simple. It's so simple that people want to overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
They, they feel like they got to figure something out. There is nothing to figure out. Just call people, get it under contract. There's a little few nuances here and there, but you know, it's all about just taking that raw action consistently and being willing to get rejected every single day, day after day after day, and not lose hope. Not lose
Right.
just because you call 10 people, right, and nobody answers the phone, it doesn't mean that it doesn't work.
Right.
I want to ask you, so you first they had it listed for 97,000, you said, on this deal, and then
Yes.
offered 45,000. What was their reaction when you offered them that?
They were like, "Oh no, I actually have the call recorded too and everything," which is crazy. I have the call recorded. They were like, "Thank you, but that's just too low. We can't do that right now." And then I was like, "Okay." So then I offered, "Oh, the equity protection program." And I offered like 65. They were like, eh. At first, like the seller was open to novation, but then he came back. It was like, we don't want to do that. Then I was like, okay. I just thought I was just gonna keep following up. I thought it was like a lost cause, but he came back to me. It was like, I think we want to go with you. You were the lowest, but you were like so nice to us. I was like, okay, cool.
Even though you were the lowest, they didn't curse you out or get mad or hang up.
No, they were super sweet even from the jump. They didn't curse me out. They just said, "Oh, like I'm sorry, we can't do that. That's just too low." But yeah, they were very nice with me.
Imagine what would have happened if you were scared to give that lowball offer and you offered too high.
Right. The deal wouldn't have closed.
Right. So, yeah, building the rapport, getting good at talking to people, making people laugh, keeping them on the phone. I feel like that's the most important skill because that, and then not being afraid to offer the right offer the first time is what got you it.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is the biggest thing that you learned from me as a mentor?
Mm, I would say to keep going. Like that's that. I know it's super simple, but one thing that you have taught me is to keep going because I feel like wholesaling is like the first and only thing that I've stuck with for this long. And I'm like genuinely proud of myself that like it's been a year and I'm still wholesaling. Like it's insane because you've always, taught me and everybody else like, to keep going. Even if things are hard, to keep going because there's going to be times where it's gonna get tough. You're gonna get cursed out. There's gonna be times where it's like, oh my god, when am I gonna get a contract locked up? You want to lock it up for the right price. You know, just to keep going, and it's like every day you're getting closer to where you want to go. So that's something that you definitely taught me a lot, and I think because of you, that's why I've been wholesaling for this long. Still, that's why I'm still standing.
I appreciate that. Hell yeah. Are you still making YouTube videos?
No, I'm actually like not on social media. I'm not on YouTube. I'm on nothing. Like I'm just like harped in, like very locked in with wholesaling. My YouTube videos, I privated them. Like I have nothing on my YouTube channel. I deleted Instagram permanently,
Wow.
Facebook permanently. Like I am not on social media at all.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I know I deleted my Instagram for a long, long time just so I could focus on one thing and not be distracted because it's easy to just pick up your phone and start doom scrolling. And then an
hmm
hour passes by, 3 hours pass by, and you don't even know what happened.
Yeah, literally. And that's something that happened a lot. Like when I got back on Instagram, it just became like this huge distraction. I'm like, I can't do this. So I was like, let me just delete it. At first, my Instagram was just deactivated. Then a few weeks ago, I was like, let me permanently delete it. So it's like permanent deleted, like can't find me nowhere.
Hell yeah. So if anybody wanted to reach out to you, they just have to wait till you activate it again or
No, I mean my email.
you know.
My email is premiumestates2024 at gmail.com.
All right, I'll leave that in the description. Is there anything else that you want to tell to the subscribers or the people who've been following you and your journey?
Um, I would say keep going. Don't give up. I know it's hard, but keep going because your future you will be proud of you. And also, if anybody has any deals in Ohio and Florida, send them my way. I have tons of buyers, especially in Florida.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And also, if you guys have any deals in Texas, North Carolina, my main market is Texas. Yeah, send them my way. That's awesome. It's been awesome getting to interview you, be on a podcast, whatever this
Yeah.
third time. I'm super, super proud of you. Not that many people stick with it. I mean, me and you, like, since you've been a mentor, and I'm sure since you've been in Q's office or just your wholesale journey in general, you've seen a lot of people quit,
Yes.
come in, they quit because they don't get rich quick. That's another thing I wanted to say. This is not a get rich quick. She's been doing it
Yes.
for a year. It's about building a skill that makes you a shit ton of money over time,
Mm-hmm.
right? At first, it starts off as little money. Track anybody's success story. A lot of people don't make money, and this is just in business in general. A lot of people don't make money for the first 3 years, but then in the fourth or fifth year, they're overnight success.
Yeah.
They look like an overnight success, but really it took like years of grinding in the dark when nobody's looking at them, right? And nobody's cheering you on. It's really just you versus you every single day. Champions are made in the dark, and that's what it's about for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Very proud of you.
Thank you.
Well, hell yeah. Looking forward to seeing you get your fourth, fifth, sixth, 10th deal. And when you get your high rise apartment, and you get an acquisition under you, I'm on the same journey, man. Now I'm in Scottsdale. I'm on the same journey. It's just a long journey of self improvement, and it
Mm-hmm.
never ends. So,
Absolutely.
hell yeah. Thanks for your time. And yeah, I'm going to end it here.
All right.